The hippo, to me, looks a bit like a pig on steroids, especially when it's rolling around in the mud. And genetically, the pig is one of the hippo's closest living relatives. It's also closely related to whales and dolphins, which seems appropriate, given that it spends about 60% of its time in the water. Hippopotamus comes from the Greek word for water horse or river horse, although the horse is not a close relative. It was in the water in Botswana where I got my first face-to-face meeting with hippos in the wild. On my first trip to Africa, Beverly Joubert gave me a lesson in how to photograph hippos. She said it was important to get down low and into their environment with them, and that meant follow her into the hippo pond. It was my first time in Africa, so I didn't know any better than to just trust your guide. And I went in the pond with her. And that's when the action began.
What I must warn you is what we're sinking into is actual hippo dung.
Oh. Now that I'm ankle deep in it, you bring that up. Now, they look big and slow and docile, like there's nothing we have to be afraid of. Is that true?
No, more people are actually killed by hippo in Africa than any other animal.
Oh.
He's threatening now.
So when he opens his mouth like that, obviously, he doesn't want us to be here.
There were about 20 other hippos in the pond who weren't all that happy to see us either. But at least they didn't threaten to kill us.
Be still, my heart.
That was a mock charge.
I learned several lessons that day. Number one, it's a mock charge if you're still standing when it's over. Number two, a hippo can run about 15 miles an hour in the water. Number three, on land, they can run 20 to 25 miles an hour, so you're not going to outrun them. Number four, my, what big teeth they have. Their canines look like tusks, razor sharp, and can be up to 1.5 feet long. That intimidating mouth can open up to 180 degrees and bite down with a force of 2,000 pounds per square inch. The hippo, with its gargantuan 500-pound head and its ivory knife-armed mouth, kills around 500 people a year in Africa. Their big head is backed up by an even bigger body, an average 3,000 pounds for females, and anywhere from 3,500 to more than 9,000 pounds for males. All these numbers add up to make the hippo the third largest animal on 4 legs, behind only elephants and white rhinos, and the first most lethal to humans in Africa. Since my first hippo encounter in 1994, I've returned to Africa almost every year, and despite their occasional hostility to uninvited visitors, I've made it a point to check out the hippos. Often, it's a boring visit, hippos just laying in the water, but occasionally there is something entertaining. Hippos in Botswana, passively serving as a feeding platform for the African Jacano bird as it looks for bugs in the water. Hippos in Kenya watching a wildebeest struggling to free its legs trapped in river debris. One hippo tries motivational yelling to no avail. Then, 2 hippos decide a better use of their big heads would be to help push the wildebeest free. And eventually, they succeed. Hippos in Kenya's Ngorongoro crater, sunbathing, rolling around, and exposing their red, oily, acid-based excrement that acts as both sunscreen and bacteria fighter. But the most memorable times with hippos were when I was a spectator at the hippo equivalent of the Ultimate Fighting Championships. Tusk-rattling battles to determine the alpha male, the winners earning the right to mate with the harem. That's when Africa's most lethal jaws were on full display.